Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the Shop. It is early Saturday morning and it is only about 75 degrees in here. It's supposed to rain today, so it's cloudy and humid. You're talking a dew point that's like 67, so we're lucky to be inside. And it is gross out. It was foggy this morning and we're still in a drought. The rain that we got, my yard's halfway green. Okay, you see what I'm building? That's a 3mm little button head screws I built my stoves with. This is my chisel type X-acto knife blade. Make a nice scraping tool. But we're carving this out, okay? Because we've got this epoxy on here. See where it's kind of squared where I cut some of the stuff off? And I put a lot on this side where the nut is. Because I could ground, and I Loctited it. Well, I could have ground that nut down about halfway in the bolt. We're not going to worry about it too much. See where I put some around the edge of the stick right there? So it keeps it glued to it. Okay, let's get this carved out. Epoxied on here. I gotta carve a little more. Let's see if I can get it there. We're gonna get the tripod out later and show you some of the painted lighters I've been doing and stuff like that. So this is the project, and then we'll show you some things that we made. I want to show you something cool here with this paint that we're gonna pan up here. It's not paint thinner, it's brush cleaner. See that? It looks like sand in there. See, slowly mixing. It'll clump on the brushes I like. It actually crumbles off the brush after you brush with the cleaner. And it says something on the brushes about how to clean them, but it actually clumps the paint up. It gets it to come out of the bristles. So I should show that sometime. It gets all clumpy. Well, it doesn't get, so it's a really good brush cleaner. It is no good for a paint thinner. I've got to get some paint thinner. I keep saying that. We're going to get this stuff to mix up a little more. I don't think that'd break this thick of a bottle, so I'm not too worried. Hope that ain't too loud on the camera. Don't watch if you have a hangover. See how fast it settles out. It's Sunday, we can do this stuff. We get bored. But it falls out pretty quick. See, it looks like sand. That's what it does to the paint. It just crumbles it. You can get it out of the bristles. Okay, let's get to work on this thing. We'll get some epoxy on it. We'll finish carving that. Get our string out of the way for the camera. So we'll be right back. Okay, we got this fit, so we're gonna epoxy it on there. I'm kind of poked through a little bit, so we'll be back after we got this glued together. We'll show you something else while this is curing, so I can keep making video, and then we'll come back to this. We don't know if we're gonna stain this or what we're gonna do with this, so we'll get busy and do that. The bad thing about having the fan is it blows everything around. Oh, I had to eat 2 Star Crunch chocolate coated ice cream parts just to get these sticks for you people, okay? So I made that sacrifice. It's a good thing there were the small ones, but I did it. I ate 2 of them things down because I needed the stick, so that's my sacrifice for the job. Okay, well that's curing. Back off here. See the little sticks I made? These are sparklers you get. Kids have them, they got that striped paper on the end, and they're probably, some of them are almost 1.5 feet long. And I'd save those sticks off of them. And like bottle rockets might land in your yard, and see I put that chiseled edge on it? And here's one I use. So I can spread the epoxy on. You know, and this just comes to a point, not a sharp point, so you don't poke your hand. Maybe you want to stir something. And you can always scrape these off. You can reuse them over and over. Now this is pretty thin, but once it gets epoxy on it, gets hard, it might not break. See it flex? Watch. See that? But that could be good because you could be trying to push something down in something. Like with JB Weld. You know, JB Weld is a little bit stiffer, so you might want to spatula it in, but see how easy it can break? But once it gets a little bit of epoxy on like this one, we'll look at it when it cures. I bet it won't flex as much because some of it's soaked in the wood. Okay, let's take a break and we'll show you some of the things we've painted lately. And one real quick look, I'm going to show you the epoxy that I use. I don't get paid to show products. That's what I use. I use the quick, the 5-minute. Yeah, the 5-minute. I'm always in a hurry. I want it done. Well, we're almost out. I had these bottles upside down one day and forgot about them to the end of the day, and a bunch of it dripped out, so I just crammed that in there. So look how much I wasted. Shame, what a shame. Accidents happen. There's no excuse, though. Okay, what a mess. Got that thing on high. It'll start blowing everything. Did I post that video yet? I'm going to have to look. That's one of those fuel cans for your lawnmower. And I sanded the paint up, and I took the label off the plastic jug. I don't want no paint thinner and a quart of paint thinner in my shopping plastic, and poured it in a metal container. So if I haven't posted that video, be looking for it here coming up in a week sometime. But a mess. And I don't know. I'm going to show you this, how I painted that. And I have an old video that's handmade on my lathe. My battery symbol's on. So let's change the battery, then let's get this thing on the tripod and show you some of the lighters I painted. Now they're amateur. I'm not an artist, so you're going to have to put up with my crappy artwork. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, we'll show you some of the lighters I'm working on. Here's the one I had to paint run. With the peace sign, I just glued a quarter on it with my E6000, and I bet you 20 bucks you can't pry that off there with your fingernails. I put one on a Ronson lighter, which is like a Zippo metal, and you could not peel it off there. It's getting hard to find these quarters. And this side I kind of went all funky. That's orange now, that's not red or pink. When you get looking from a distance, it looks like it's pink in there. But that's fluorescent yellow. See the coat of clear. Okay. We'll put that over here. Excuse me. This was beautiful when I first did it. I had gold on here in little drops, and it looked like real gold. It did. When I hit it with the clear spray, I put a light coat, it looked all right. I hit it again, and it did the same thing. It got in there and started dissolving that. And that's a turquoise color I made up. It was white with some blue to make light blue, and I had like a little bit of green to it. Okay, we can get this turn on. And that's not the greatest wood grain look. The lighting is terrible in here when I try to use my tripod. I don't know what it is. It's the angle or something. I'll take pictures. Okay. This was dark blue and light blue stripes, okay? So then we took yellow. We all know that blue and yellow make green. The black in here separating that is just Sharpie marker. And I did that after I cleared it, so it might wear off. But, I mean, the paint's rough. But I think that's kind of neat. You know, I don't like it that direction. I like it this direction. This is my failed attempt looking like painting a barn board. I had it down just right, okay? I made brown by using blue and red. Now, it turned brown. You can use black and orange, black and red. Why mix blue and red? Because I was trying to remember how to make purple. Well, it looked brown. We'll see how it looked reddish and pinkish. And then I added some black lines to it. So it's not the greatest. And it had white chipping through because it's a white lighter. But it's something different. And it's not going to wear off. You're not going to wear it off because it's clear coated. So that looks pretty cool. Okay. Now I want to show you this. I have a video on this. This is a homemade handle. Okay. Let me try to get it in the other hand. Get a pointer. I took some brown paint and I highlighted some of this. Like around here. Let me go here and show you it's better. This is brown paint. And highlighted it. And I had some in the middle didn't like it, so I sanded it out. So there is brown paint on here. Highlighting some of these. And then I scraped the brown paint off. So I let it dry, then I scraped it. Okay, there was still some stained into the wood because I sanded it down a little bit. And this is that clear, that metallic red. Well, there's not much left. And what's left is real runny in the bottom of the bottle. So it's just like a clear coat. So you'll see that it's shiny before I ever use clear coat. And you can see there's some sparkle in there. You may see a little sparkle. Then I hit it with a shot of clear coat. But I really like that. That's kind of cool looking. See, you take regular wood and add to it. It had this wood grain, but I said I added some black to it with a little brush to bring it out a little more. So it was already stained before. But I'll get a picture of that. So that's about it for that. We're going to take another break and we're going to come back to our project if the epoxy's cured. Okay, we're scraping the epoxy out before it dries all the way. See all the mess where I haven't scraped it? And there's where I scraped it. That's really soft wood. I kind of wish I didn't have to have that on there like that. Makes me wonder, what should I do? Should I try to grind that down halfway? You can't do that. It's going to melt the epoxy from the heat. We'll put up with it. Anyway, somewhere here the wood wasn't level. Bear with me, we'll find it. Right in here. So when we sand it, we had a little bit of pocket. It was squeezed everywhere. Good thing I worked, and I wrapped some electrical tape around about up in here. And this I just pushed it together and held it, but oh, it was all over. It's smushing out. Back off. Sorry about that. I got that habit. I start getting to where I want to look and then it goes out of focus. Because I'm looking through the viewfinder. I'm not looking over it. This is what I do when I'm trying to look at something. You don't get to see it. So I try to look through the camera. And put some around the edge. The side. There's where I just poked through with the grain when I was graining the wood out. This has to have the epoxy up or it will not take any paint or stain. I just keep doing that, don't I? I'm sure y'all can see the project that far away good enough. That's what is good about the tripod, because you stay at a constant distance. I might have to get it out again, the tripod. But we'll keep sanding, and we'll come back when this is sanded. I'll give you a real quick, like 15 seconds of here it's all sanded, and then we'll be right into staining the thing. So this is going to take a while. This epoxy's not cured yet. But that's when to get it. Get it when it's gooey. See the junk? Get it when it's gooey like Bondo. Get it scraped out of there so half your work is done. Because this stuff is not easy to sand. It'll clog your sandpaper. Okay, we are sanded, ready for paint, and we ground that nut off there. It took a little work. We kept grinding on the nut because we had Loctite, and we kept grinding on it, and finally it loosened up. We ground right on the nut, and you can see where I ground on it. I got to loosen up. It got hot enough that the Loctite let loose, because he kept spinning the bolt in there. So, yeah, ain't that better? We're going to have this for a long time. Next, we're on the paint. We're going to paint it. You don't get to see what color till it's done, so it'll be a surprise. We don't want wood grain. We just want it painted. Put some tape over there, people. That's a razor blade out there. Put something on you, don't cut yourself. In that spot where the wood was uneven. See that? I filled in with the epoxy. I think you can see it. Let's get to work to paint it. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back after painting it and show you what it looks like. Surprise, surprise, surprise. This is how we did this. It's hard. It looks better in real life. It really does. When you get the gloss on here in the light, you can't see it as good. What we did was we made some light blue, okay? And then this paint starts drying fast. Then we brushed some dark blue over top of it. And we took the very last little bit of that, with a little bit of clear left in the corner, and that turned it kind of purple. And I really had to brush it in there. I mean, I had to rub it in there. It was really rough paint. You know, it was drying, and I'm trying to drag it with the brush. But then I took my Scotch pad and took the roughness off. So we'll try to get some really good pictures of that. Really nice scraper, and I have sharpened this up a little bit. There you go. Thanks for watching this week. We're out of here. Look at all the pictures, because there's stuff I show in there that I've never talked about. So we're out of here. We're gone.